Hey guys, I'm here in the Heights with Linda, co-owner of Relic General Store. Wanted to share this store with you guys because I was driving by after going to Tenfold and just saw this cute little house that was all white with the black trim, and I was like, wait, that's a store? Like, it was the cutest thing. So I stopped by and met Linda, and she was just amazing, and now we're best friends.
Yeah.
We're clearly starting a TV show.
That's right.
So I really wanted to bring you her story, why, what inspired Relic General Store.
Well, I wanted to welcome you to Sunset Heights. We're here in this fun little pocket, and what it really is that Relic General Store is just like a combination of all the things that myself and my co-owner, Manny Lopez from Bear Cub Leather, wanted to put together. It's just things that we use ourselves, things that we really enjoy, and all of it just started from, this was actually our old office space. I own Three Hearts Apparel. We make modern teething accessories. We used to make all our products and ship to stores from here. We ran out of space, things were really going well, so we decided to move to a larger warehouse, and we had the space left over, and we thought, such a cute little area. We have a great little coffee shop down the street called Tenfold, and we have a great bakery right across the street called Angela's Oven. So we didn't really want to move, so we thought, what would be the next great big thing that we could do? So we decided that we were going to do a little boutique that was going to service the neighborhood. The store actually has everything. That's the reason why we called it a general store, but it also has products from both myself and Manny's own individual companies. So Manny Lopez actually makes all of his leather goods here, and this is his workshop in addition to being a store. And then we also carry baby products from Three Hearts here as well.
So do you want to give us a little tour, maybe show us some of your favorite products at the moment?
Yeah, sure. Well, come on in.
You're a mom, you're running 3 businesses. Tell us about that.
I went to school actually to eventually be a lawyer. I made the decision to stay in the legal field by working as a senior paralegal, because when I graduated college, it was a major recession and there were more lawyers unemployed than there were lawyers that were employed. I relocated here after my father passed away so that my mother wouldn't be by herself. I stayed in the legal field, and about 5 years ago, I got laid off from my job after I had my son. So I thought, you know what, I started this little business making handmade bibs and pacifier clips because he's a boy, and I always find as a boy mom, which you probably could sympathize, it is so hard to find cool things for a boy. And I think that my whole life I wanted to be creative, but I grew up in a culture where it's like, are you going to be a doctor or are you going to be a lawyer? And so, I was going to try my hand at operating my own business. So I started actually making product, and I just started to sort of learn different techniques on how to make the clips and everything, and started to sell them at farmers markets, met a lot of local artists, met a lot of local promoters of events. I started producing my own handmade teething rattles, which I was really well known for at the time, but we designed our own wood, and that's gonna be the Texas rattle right here. So this is kind of what started it all for us. It's the shape of Texas, and it's a little teething rattle, and baby can actually chew on the wood. It's all natural beechwood and silicone. These are all individually handmade. I used to have Band-Aids all through my hands making them. That's what got us into all our stores. We started producing different states, different pacifiers, different pacifier clips, and now we've expanded to a product line that contains over 1,000 different SKUs, and we ship to over 1,000 stores in the world. So it's been a really great ride, but in the process I've met amazing people, including Manny and his wife, and we do a lot of events. As you can see, there's a lot of books in here, and I think, I have a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 5-year-old, and it is really tough to own multiple businesses, have a lot of employees, and deal with such a stringent schedule with traveling and the businesses themselves. So you'll notice that the books that we have in the store range anything from baby board books that are great for baby gifts, but we also have books that go up to older ages as well, like the 50 states that we have up there, that you're going to learn everything about the different 50 states that we have, and we have versions of it from baby all the way up to older children.
This is my favorite era, you guys. I have my own little, when I walked in here, I literally freaked out. I walked in, I was like, oh my gosh, it's perfect.
I remember the first thing you said, you're like, oh, this is a great book collection. And I was like, oh, that meant so much to me. And I think from the time that you came here to where we are now in the book collection, we've just grown exponentially. And we continue to bring more books in for the neighborhood. We've also had talks about doing a monthly book reading for children at the store as well.
You guys, I have to take you to meet Manny.
So when I started, originally I was restoring an old motorcycle. And I was using it as my daily commute bike. It was an old 1970 Honda CB350. And I needed a way to carry basically my bags on it because I was using it as a daily commute. And there was a couple of people offering like basically $300 strap systems. And I'm like, I'm not gonna spend $300 for some simple straps. Basically, I took the pictures that they had on there and I was like, I'm gonna find out how to make this myself. I still spent like $200, but at this point I had a bunch of leftover leather, I had all the tools, and I had basically the desire to make this happen. So I finished that and I had so much leather left over, my wife was all like, well, why don't you make me a wallet? And I was like, okay, I'll make you a wallet. So I made her a wallet and I was like, well, I'll make myself a wallet. And then it started snowballing from there, just me buying more leather. You know, it was a hobby that I was doing while I was working, you know, a regular, it wasn't a 9 to 5, it was like a 6 to 6. I was in a commercial concrete at the time. So it was just a hobby that I had on the side for a long time. And then October 2016, my wife saw like, well, why don't you go do a pop-up somewhere? And I'm like, you think people are really gonna wanna buy my leather stuff? She's like, yeah, I'm sure. So she did the research. She found the company, Shop Local Markets. They do a lot of brewery pop-ups before COVID and all that. And she said, you know, let's sign up for this. And I was like, all right, that's fine. So I made a bunch of bags, made a bunch of wallets. We went out there 9 o'clock in the morning. It was cold. And we set up. And then at the end of the day, I made $500. And I told my wife, and I was like, man, I can't believe we made $500 today. And it just kind of grew from there. It's something that would happen very naturally, but something that never would have happened without kind of the encouragement and the belief of my wife and me. My wife, Sophia, she's the one who's all like, just go for it, just do it and see what happens.
So did she choose Bear Cub? Or?
No, I chose Bear Cub. So whenever we have 2 boys, whenever our first one was born, Levi, he came out just covered in hair, like someone plopped a wig on his head. And we called him our little bear because he just had so much hair and he was just like a little chunky brown baby. And so I've always felt that leather has this kind of story it can tell. That when it's made correctly, when it's done well, it lasts generations. And it's something you can pass down. So I named it Bear Cub after my son because I felt that it's something that I could pass on to him if he wants it and desires it. And that's kind of where it all started. This is the first wallet I made, so a lot of mistakes were made here that I look back and I'm like, man, I've come a long way. The flap isn't big enough to get to the bottom. The leather's way too thick. This would be uncomfortable to carry in a pocket. But the design was just, I'd seen someone make a wallet similar to this back when Instagram was a good Instagram, everything was chronological. You know, that's when I saw the design. I was like, you know, this looks pretty simple enough to make. I'll just try and do it. You know, measured it off of I was like, let's see how big my cards are. I could probably fit 1 card in here, and that's all it's good for. You can't do nothing else. But yeah, this is the original wallet that I made.
So you make custom products though, like you allow someone to come in or how does that work?
Yeah, for the most part, I do a lot of custom work from time to time. We have our set of you know, our flagship items like our Sophia tote, which is what I'm working on right here, making a bag right now. And then we do our best-selling wallets, which are these right here. Basically the Monday Minimal is what this one's called. Real simple. You know, you can fit about 4 cards on both sides, and cash that goes, you know, slotted right down the middle. But yeah, we do custom work like watch bands. I've had people make ask for watch bands. Some people have brought in like a Louis Vuitton like bag. They're like, hey, tear it apart, can you make me some watch bands? I was like, sure, I'll do that for you.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I've had that. They're like, oh, I want a Louis band. I was like, but can you tear my old bag apart? It's like a small wallet that they don't even use anymore. They're like, just tear it apart. I was like, okay, fine. done that. I've done Gucci bags, like I've torn apart and made into wallets
Wow.
and bands as well. But yeah, I do custom work. You know, some people ask for zippers on their bags. I've done custom backpacks, custom briefcases, and wallets and so forth.
What would you tell someone who's coming into Houston for the first time? What are like the 3 spots that you would tell them to go? It could be a restaurant, it could be anything.
3 spots if you're coming to Houston and you want to go. All right, so top one for me personally, because I love crawfish so much, I go to Crawfish Pot, which is on the southeast side of Houston. It's basically a fusion of Cajun and Vietnamese crawfish, which is absolutely amazing. Anyone I've ever taken, I don't sell it a lot because I don't want nobody to like be disappointed, but everyone I've taken absolutely loves it. That's, you know, one of the #1 spots that I love to take people to. Second is probably this old taco spot that I used to go to as a kid. Aguascalientes is off of 610 and Broadway. That's my personal favorite taco shop just because I grew up there. Their gorditas are bomb. The chicharron, you get it if you want it. It's absolutely amazing. Third place I'd take someone to, man, that's a tough one. I can't really think of like everything that I rate. I'd probably take somebody out to the Texas City Dike to get like some fresh oysters to eat. I'm all about food, as obviously you can tell from my top 3 spots. I love to eat and I enjoy sharing, you know, that with people. That's probably my third one, just going out to Texas City, getting some fresh oysters because they come in daily and they're awesome.
Thank you, Manny.
No, thank you very much for taking the time.
We're so excited, you guys. You guys have to come to Relic. Talk to Linda, talk to Manny, get to know them, and welcome to Houston.